The dustier a plunger is, the cleaner it probably is. Some people's parents were born in this century. Everything on earth is either cheese or not cheese. The voice inside your head doesn't take breaks for breathing while reading something. Dogs lick themselves but never get any dog hairs in their mouth, yet when we make any sort of contact with them we are spitting out hairs left and right. Smelling is the free trial of tasting. There are jokes you'll never hear because they're only popular in another country. Life expectancy for males is under 70 years in many countries, but a 35-year-old man would never be considered as middle-aged. When a ghost closes its eyes, it can still see through its eyelids. If the invisible man can see through himself, then he can still see with his eyes closed. Even though dumbass and smartass are opposites, they are both insults. Each emotion, if strong enough, leads to tears. Before Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant there was a little paperclip named Clippy. Uneducated people are too uneducated to understand how uneducated they are. Pixel art is an entire art style born out of technological limitations. There is a chance that you and your neighbor have an identical home key to your houses, but no one knows it. Toilet paper is sold out everywhere due to assholes, both figuratively and literally. Keys that are clipped to your belt loop and make the clang sound when you walk is the modern-day version of wearing spurs on your boots. Orphanages are children's pet shop. In the last 20 years the thumb muscles have probably shot to the top as the most exercised muscles in the body. Drinking isn't a problem until it becomes a solution. Back in the day, when someone was swerving while driving, we would think this guy is drunk. Nowadays, we think get off your phone. Boss battles are always angry because the boss has to listen to the same music over and over again for eternity. They probably has PTSD associated with the music. Eyebrows aren't usually thought of when facial hair is mentioned. No one's been killed by the Zodiac Killer since Ted Cruz's self-quarantine. If VR was seriously used in an educational capacity, we could propel learning to the 23rd century. Hospitals are most people's spawn point. We make fun of birds for how they presumably sing about wanting to make love, but that's a pretty common theme in human music too. I was born too late to explore the world and too early to explore the universe might be right, but we were born just right to witness the world collapsing. There have been movies with zombies that run, and others with those that walk, but never one in which they can move exactly like a normal human at first death, and then begin to limp over time with muscle decay and injuries. Being 90 probably just feels like you're a phone on 1% battery. No one else thinks like you is either calling you a genius or an idiot. Barbers are actually cutting down their own source of income. There are kids getting rickrolled today who weren't even alive when it started. Water is the default taste. It's weird how people on Tatooine don't have darker skin considering the planet has 2 suns. Mosquitoes are low-budget vampires. Retiring is betting that you'll die before you spend all your money. Once deepfake tech gets sufficiently advanced, you'll be able to order a movie starring yourself. Roughly 9 to 10 months from now we're probably going to see a population boom. If insects scream before you killed them, people wouldn't kill them as much. Any internet community that gets its laughs by pretending to be idiots will eventually be flooded by actual idiots who mistakenly believe that they're in good company. Spring cleaning is only a thing because it happens when seasonal depression begins to decline. Braille is the one language that can be tougher to read in very large print. It's impossible to tell if you really remember something of the first years of your life or if it's a memory that you created growing up, from a picture you saw or a story you heard. Pretty soon there won't be anybody left on Earth who has walked on the moon. You truly don't know how important pockets are until you put on a pair of pajama bottoms that don't have pockets. After solving a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, it becomes 1x1. For some reason we're scared of looking into the abyss of the ocean when it's only a few miles deep, but we're completely fine looking into the nearly infinite abyss of space. In fact, most of us find is calming. If you're ever feeling down, know that life could be worse. Milk could have pulp. For the past 20 years we have watched the Pixar lamp commit cold-blooded murder on the innocent eye, and once he is done he looks at us like you did not see a thing. Doomsday preppers must feel pretty good about themselves now. People aren't afraid to have unprotected sex, but they sure are afraid of this COVID-19. If a donkey kills another donkey, it is assassination. The scariest place in the world is inside the human mind. There is an incredibly small chance that every baby born from now is female and humans go extinct. As long as you are near a dog, it is usually acceptable to be holding a bag of shit. People have probably never been so happy to find out they have the regular flu. You know you're officially lost when you turn down the car radio and take off your sunglasses. Ariel from The Little Mermaid has boobs, which implies she is a mammal, yet also has a fish's reproductive system, implying that mermaids are actually a type of platypus. The day you turn the age your parent was when they had you, begins a short period of time where you are exactly half of their current age until their birthday. The voice in your mind grows up with you. You know some shit just went down in a show when the credits roll, but there is no music. Being born has a 100% death rate. It's pretty weird how "I'm gonna kill you" is such a socially acceptable response to one causing you a minor inconvenience. It's weird to think how there's no sound in space, but there's so much space-themed music. In survival games, either all blood bags are O-, or all blood bags are automatically your blood type. You could be in a coma now and this is your subconscious trying to tell you. Google Chrome shows a tiny T-Rex because it can't reach the web page because of the tiny arms. Those who make themselves look intelligent on purpose aren't smart enough to realize that people generally don't care. People who are irrationally buying tons of toilet paper are causing rational people to go out and buy toilet paper in fear of not being able to when they legitimately need it, which just furthers the issue of there not being enough supply. Quarantine makes introversion an adaptive advantage. Suck it, extroverts. If there are infinite parallel universes, then there are universes with different laws of physics and possibly one with flat planets and a sphere Earth society in it. Bob Ross has changed so many more lives for the better than he could have ever imagined. Everything with mass has gravity, so you are slightly pulling everything in the universe towards you. Nails are perfectly fine when they're on someone's hand, but the second you cut them off nobody wants to touch them. If masturbation actually increases white blood cell rate, then we found the reason why children under 19 are mostly safe. If you rob a bank, you won't have to worry about paying bills for a long time regardless if you get caught or not. Lamps in video games break the fourth wall because they use real electricity and create real light. Our eyes see light and light travels at the speed of light. The moon is 1.25 light seconds away. When we look at the moon, we are looking 1.25 seconds into the past. If life on planet that is 200,000 light years away was watching us, they would still see Neanderthals instead of modern humans. People with anxiety were self-isolating before it was cool. The analogy "it's so easy, a caveman could do it" is actually incorrect. Cavemen could kill animals up to 4 times their size, and created fire without a lighter, so it really couldn't be that easy. Shout out to the pencil makers who think we only make a few mistakes per pencil and we only need a small eraser at the end. Dinosaurs must have died because Earth got its internet connection back. Rome has fallen again. A lot of people find the sexual use of the word daddy creepy, yet calling your lover/sex partner baby is as mainstream as anything can possibly get. You've probably watched the many of the same porn videos that your friends have watched, just you never talk about it. You never fully realize how out of shape you are until you actually try to get back in shape. If cars flipped as easily in movies in real life, punching someone would make them backflip. Scissors are knives but with extra steps. It is ironic that the Xbox logo is an X in a circle. Elastigirl would have given birth to her kids really easily. Fortune cookies taste the exact same as ice cream cones and nobody ever talks about it. There are probably a lot of quality shower thoughts that never got posted because it's taboo to pull your phone out at church. If you break the laws of mankind, you go to jail. If you break the laws of physics, well, You go to Sweden. You can't spell manslaughter without man's laughter. Star Wars came out with 4, 5, and 6 first because Yoda was in charge of scheduling. For always having to clean the house, Cinderella had a lot of rodents running around. Spending 14 days in quarantine is gonna be easy for Tom Hanks, he just needs a volleyball. Growing up is looking forward to Christmas not because you get presents, but because you skip obligations like work and school. Everyone prefers a 30-second ad you can skip after 10 seconds rather than a 10-second ad you can't skip. There is one moment in everyone's life where your birth and death are the exact same distance. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's wife rocks Dwayne's Johnson. Now it's exactly 4:20 on the 69th day of the year. Long before refrigeration, people in hot climates probably didn't know water could be a solid. The person that discovered we weren't able to lick our own elbows must have really wanted to lick whatever was on their elbow. If plants had brains, they'd probably wonder why we cut off their genitals and use them as decorations. Every time you hear dialogue where one character compliments something another character said, you're also hearing the writer complimenting their own writing. All of these cancelled festivals messed up by not booking The Cure. Tap water only tastes weird when you have just moved to a new area. The taste of water improves the longer you go without drinking it. After tens of thousands of years of evolution and easily being one of the most intelligent species on the planet, we still manage to bite our own tongue. Surprisingly, too often.